Hey, it's Aurelius here, and in this video, I want to share with you how to hire your first VA and start delegating and outsourcing all the tasks that you either don't enjoy doing or aren't good at. So then you can focus more on actually strategizing, growing, and scaling your business. So keep watching, and I'll share all the steps with you in this video. So firstly, one of the things that set me back from actually hiring my first VA and delegating all my tasks to someone else is that my thinking and logic was that I can do this task and learn it from YouTube or Google and actually do it and save money. But that's not the whole point. When you're put in the shoes of a business owner, it's very different. What you want to be focusing on is strategizing a business so that you can grow it, scale it, and eventually work towards a goal, whatever that may be. And perhaps you want to let go of the business so that you can work on the next project, or perhaps sell your business entirely. But the whole point is it's kind of a mental shift that you need to think about that so that you can start hiring people and invest rather than thinking of it as an expense. When you invest in other people to do the work for you, that's when you'll be able to buy time, gain time, and work on more important things in your business. So the problem is, even if you know how to do a certain task, let's say edit a web page or edit a piece of graphic or banner, that all those little minuscule tasks add up, compound, and really sets the mood for the day. If you're doing that at the start of your day, it actually drains your energy and you're left with nothing to actually start growing your business. So in this video, I want to share with you the sites, techniques, and methods that I've used personally to be able to successfully hire a VA, and how to go from basically I went from 60 hours working in my business down to less than 20 hours a week. All right, so switching over to my desktop, what I'm going to do is share with you what you can do and the templates that you can use to start easily hiring people to do the tasks that you either don't enjoy doing or aren't good at. So what you're looking at now is a template. I call this a task list profile. And basically it's an Excel, sort of, not Excel, but just a spreadsheet. I'll provide this anyway, so don't be concerned that you're not getting these resources or links. I'll provide all the links and resources below this video. And of course, at any time, if you found anything helpful, please click the like button. Helps with YouTube's algorithms so that my videos can be found on YouTube. All right, so moving on to the content. What you see here on the column A is a list of tasks. Now, obviously, these aren't tasks for you, but these are just kind of like placeholders. So you kind of understand what this task or this column is about or what it's for. So here's what I recommend you do starting today. When you're working on your computer or wherever else, whatever tasks that you're doing in your business, either write it on a piece of paper or use this spreadsheet, keep it open, and anything that you notice that you do, example, replying to a comment, or moderating your community, or submitting or creating an Instagram quote, write that down. Every single task that you do, that needs to be recorded. All right. So as you can see here, these are a few of my own. Of course, this is not my spreadsheet. This is just a template version. Kind of left some of it as is, but I've got a whole list of tasks that I've got here. So then I know exactly what tasks are being delegated and to who, and which ones actually still are still my responsibility. All right, so here are a few examples of some tasks. So email inbox management. So if you're finding yourself always having to check your email, answering any emails, and your inbox is getting really full and all that, that's an issue already. So that's really draining your time. And so you want to add this to your task list. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a task that you want to delegate, but just add every single task that you're currently doing, all right, as you go along the week. So I recommend you do this, recording the tasks for a period duration of a week or two, a month at most, for best results, because you might not do things every single week. You could do certain tasks once a month. So that's why you want to make sure that you kind of record as you go along throughout the month. Now, the way to sort of do this also is to break it down into smaller tasks as well. So wherever you can, let's say creating Instagram quotes, rather than saying social media marketing, you want to break it down to the smaller tasks, the subtasks, because those are the things that will actually drain you. It'll take your energy, take your willpower. So creating Instagram quotes, this can be easy. You just get a quote from Google, put it on a templated design, and that's it. Even though it sounds easy and might be easy for you to do in Photoshop, these little things just add up, as I was saying. So other things is, backing up your leads, customer support tickets, innovation, strategizing, creating sales funnels, knowledge-based articles, PayPal dispute handling, transcribing audio to text. So these are just a few examples. Your business obviously may differ depending on what you do for your business. All right, so that's the first step. Write and record every single task that you do, at least a minimum of a week and or a month for best results. Now, the second column, B, is dependence rating. Now, this is valued at either high, medium, low. How much of a responsibility of this task do you need to do? How much of it do you need to do? And if it means that you obviously need to do the strategizing as an entrepreneur, CEO, founder, then yeah, that's dependence rating. That's high. But if something like backing up leads, it's not quite dependent on you, you don't need to share your input on that, then that is obviously low. All right. So you're categorizing it so that you kind of know, and it gives you a filter as to what tasks you should start delegating right away, and which tasks that are really important and the ones that actually grow and scale the business. So that's the second step. So you want to choose either high, medium, or low in terms of dependence rating. Once you filled all that out, you want to fill column C, which is enjoyment rating. Even though a dependence, let's say email inbox management. Now, dependence rating might be medium, but the enjoyment rating, you might really like it and really enjoy it. So that might mean, yeah, this should be something that you continue doing, even though it's a task that may not be the most productive, but in the end, you enjoy doing it, you love doing it, and it doesn't drain you. So that's what that is, column C. And you kind of feel that as you go along. Let's see, bookkeeping, enjoyment rating. Personally, I don't like doing that. Email broadcasting, I don't mind doing it. Blog comment moderation. Actually, I really enjoy that because I want to converse and communicate with my community. All right, next is backing up leads. Don't like that. Customer support tickets, medium. So not something that I really enjoy, because this can easily be, because you get a lot of, for myself, I get a lot of tickets about billing, technical issues. So these are things that my customer support team can already do. So dependence rating, it's something like how much does it depend? Medium, because some tickets might only be able to, I'm able to answer. So that's why medium. If it's low, then that means you really don't need to answer any tickets. All right, moving on to the next column, we've got D, which is who. Who's going to then be assigned to this task? Now, obviously, you might not have a VA or freelancers to start doing the task, but this is something you fill in afterwards. So if you currently have a team already, let's say of 5 different people, you've got a designer, writer, a general admin, then this is what you assign. Let's say my general admin's name is May. All right, so I want I can then assign this to May. If I feel that she can do backing up of leads, then I do that. Now, let's say creating Instagram, I would assign this obviously to my designer. So let's say Yogi. All right, that's my designer there. So he would then be assigned that. So this gives you kind of like a bird's eye view of who is doing what tasks. And it gives you a clear picture as to what tasks you actually have and in your business. So moving on, we've got assigned. Has this task been assigned yet? Quite simply, you put yes or no, like that. So that also gives you a good indication as to what's already being delegated and what isn't. All right. So this is the task list profile you should be able to fill first before you start outsourcing. Because let's say you do find someone, a VA, you don't want to just start them off with nothing to do, or you don't want to try to rush tasks for them to do. You want to be able to see and kind of like outline what tasks they can get started on. All right. So once this is done, the next step really is, let's move on to the next tab, is to create what I call standard operating procedures, or also known as SOPs. Now, if this sounds too technical, all it really is a checklist. All right. A list of steps that one can take to produce the same result, whatever that may be. So let's say I've got one open here. Now, how to retrieve purchase links. This is an example SOP I have open. And I describe this procedure as this SOP will demonstrate how to locate purchase links from the JVZoo platform. My VA actually created this procedure based on the steps that should be taken. So it's more advanced, but basically what it shows is video training. I don't have a video link for this, but sometimes what I do, but I'll share the steps later actually, but this is just the outline of what an SOP looks like. So step one, log into that. Step two, at the top right, so you kind of go into very small details as to what are the steps to actually produce that result, and that is to retrieve the purchase links. So don't miss out any steps when you're creating these procedures. How I create these procedures is basically just on Google Drive using Google Docs. It's all free, and you can share the link just as you can see here by clicking the link. And once you're ready to hire your VA, basically you share this and they can get started right away. And that's why creating the task list profile is so important before you actually start hiring someone. So once you do find someone, which I'll share where and how to find it, this is what you want to do. You want to share this training, this SOP or checklist or template with them so they can follow along. This also gives them an opportunity gives you also an opportunity to see their level of competency and how, if they can follow details accordingly. If you don't want to put your SOP in written form, then the easiest way is to create video training. So simply do kind of like what I'm doing, have a mic. You don't need anything professional. Just use a screen recording app that records your screen. A free one that I recommend is called Screencast-O-Matic. I'll provide all the links to these resources below this video. What Screencast-O-Matic will do is record your screen up to 15 minutes for free. If you want to exceed 15 minutes, then you can upgrade, or you can do it just in 15-minute chunks to save you some dollars. All right, so once you create the tutorial, you upload it to your YouTube account. Just make it an unlisted video, so then obviously your video won't be seen to the public. And you share the YouTube unlisted link, video link, to the person you're going to hire. And so only people that with the link can see it. And this is more advanced, but what I usually do then is pass the video on to my current VA, and he creates like a written form of the procedure. So as you can see like this, but some of my SOPs do include video training, but others don't. But that's just something more advanced and a little quick tip there. Once you create your procedures, I recommend just trying to create at least one procedure or two, or in other words, try to create a procedure or training for one or two tasks, because you're going to feel so much weight off your shoulders just by delegating one task, because you'll never have to think about it again, unless, of course, things update, technology changes, only scenarios like that. But otherwise, there's a lot of things that, these little tasks that I used to do, and by first just delegating one task, I already felt a sense of, I relieved so much stress. And you'll keep creating these procedures and training so that you can start delegating. Now, moving on, I've got the next tab open. I know this might go a little bit too lengthy, but I wanted to show you in detail the steps that I personally have taken and take to today to hire people. The first place you can go is to Upwork. Upwork is just a general freelancer website where you can hire pretty much anyone from web developers, designers, writers, video editors, and much more. But where you want to go is kind of like admin support if you want general admin. And basically you can start finding people, let's say here, someone from the Philippines, Texas, Vancouver. But obviously create an account with Upwork, post up a project or new job that you're looking for a VA or virtual assistant or general admin to do the following tasks. And you just list down some of the tasks that you have in your task list profile. So, what are your expectations of them too? Because setting the expectations at the start is very important. Things like, honesty is important. If you don't know how to do anything, then let me know, things like that. So setting clear boundaries, expectations is important as well when you're putting a job post. And the big question also then comes, how much should I pay my VA? It really depends where you're going to hire your VA. From the Philippines, which is very popular, you're looking anywhere from $400 US up to $1,200 for a full-time general VA. This is not a web developer or a designer, but some, do have some knowledge about designing. But generally, if you want someone just to do the general admin, then that is the range you're looking at for someone in the Philippines. Now, in terms of your local area, let's say in the US, I'd presume that it would be a lot more expensive. So if you do want someone for a fraction of the cost, consider hiring someone from the Philippines. And it all comes down to the training as well. I used to think that it was the VA's fault for not being able to get the work done on time, communicate right, all these things that I was blaming and complaining about. It wasn't just the VA, it wasn't the VA. It was my lack of patience in training my VA to understand how to do, a certain task. So treat them, you got to nurture them and be very patient with them. It took me a month or two to train my VA. I created many, many, many SOPs and tutorials so that they can get how to do the task. And they had questions I had to go and answer. So lots of going back and forward. But again, by creating these SOPs, you're going to save a lot of time rather than if you're trying to just, let's say, converse over Skype and just typing away. Here's how to update our WordPress blog, step 1, Everything's in the chat, but you're not actually recording it into some sort of system or process. So that's why it's so crucial. This is the one thing that has led me to, hiring a VA and successfully being able to scale the business. It's in that. It is in creating those SOPs, systems and processes. All right, so that's Upwork. Again, you got to post up your job. You can set your bids based on the range that I shared with you, but also you can leave it up to the VA as well. But obviously, you need to have some sort of budget. If you're only wanting to hire part-time, then do select part-time. There's options for that. All right, so the next place you can go to is onlinejobs.ph. So onlinejobs.ph specifically is for hiring Filipino workers, as the headline states. So with online jobs, you can browse for free. Let's say Office and Admin VA, which is the most popular. These are just a few examples of VAs you can hire. So this person here, WordPress VA, graphics design, video editing. So there's their rate. You can see that they're looking for 20,000 PHP, or in other words, 388 to 485 US dollars for 40 hours a week. So that's pretty good. Like I said, the range, for full-time was in the sort of 400 to 1,200 range, just depending on their competency, their experience, and obviously English level. What I like about online jobs as well, it also gives you some tests taken, so you can see. I don't usually go by this all the time, but it's just extra information to know. It's good to know that they've got advanced sort of mastery English C2, and they've been verified or whatever it may be. Member since that day, last active, skill summary, top skills. Clicking on each one takes you to a new page. Browsing is for free on online jobs, but if you want to actually contact them, you have to pay a fee, or usually it's a monthly fee. Last time I tried it. There you go. So it's $69 per month. You can basically post up 3 jobs. That's also with the free. Let's see what else. You contact workers. So there you go. You can't contact workers on the free plan, but obviously you're allowed to browse. So there's no harm in just browsing first, just to give you an idea as to what types of VAs are out there and what sort of skills they have. So this is onlinejobs.ph. I've had a couple of successes here in finding VAs during my early days, and then I had to kind of stop because business wasn't doing that well. So obviously I had to cut down on expenses. It's always been a site that I've turned to actually be the go-to sort of site to start from. All right. I've also had success at Upwork.com for general sort of, finding writers and designers, just skilled expertise that, you only want, not just for general admin. All right. So one that's very similar as well is called Best Jobs. So it's bestjobs.ph. Works very similarly. If I were to spend my time finding people, I would just stick to online jobs. Don't go on too many, but because people at Best Jobs would also be on online jobs as well. So there's no point trying to kind of like double post each side unless you really want exposure for your job offering. But that's another resource that you can go to find a VA. Hey, it's a realist. Just wanted to interrupt this video, and something that I forgot to put in is another type of virtual assistant sort of service that you can go through. And there are 2 I can name specifically. The first one is Outsourcing Angel. At Outsourcing Angel, what they'll do is they'll vet a potential virtual assistant for you. So basically, you go through a consultation phase where they learn more about your business and what your requirements and specifications are, so that they can find a suitable candidate. They'll narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2, or even just one that they feel that is a perfect fit for your business. And so they can pretty much do the work for you if you don't want to go out and through the sites like I mentioned, online jobs and Best Jobs or Upwork. And that can itself be a stressing part of the process of finding someone suitable. So I personally have used Outsourcing Angel to find one of my full-time assistants, and it's been a great help because before that, I've used online jobs, but I've had some success with some, but then other times not. So this is where they come in. Now, another service similar to this where they're basically the agent and where they go and find and scope one for you is Virtual Staff Finder. And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, owned by Chris Ducker, who's also an online entrepreneur. He started this and he's actually got a whole team in the Philippines. So the process is very similar. With these services, just to note, there is the fees may be higher. I know with the Outsourcing Angel, there's a monthly fee and they take care of all the payments for you. So you pay Outsourcing Angel, and then they'll pay your virtual assistant. So they're the kind of middleman. Now, I think with Virtual Staff Finder, it may work the same. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't used this personally. It could be a one-off fee where you pay them, and then it's up to you then to work out payments and stuff directly with your staff member. So those are the two sites that I wanted to mention before we move on. And yeah, apologize for interrupting this video and look different, of course, but doing this recording on a separate day, and notice in the editing phase with my video editor that I missed this type of virtual assistant sort of service. So yeah, let's get back to the video now. In terms of, what do you look for? I usually go for character first, as opposed to experience and skills, because they can always be taught, they can always be trained, and the things that you probably want them to do weren't things that they did in the past. And obviously your processes are different, your systems and tools are different in your business. So therefore, I always look for character. They just need to be genuine, honest, upfront, and generally a nice person. And that's usually what I go for, as opposed to someone who's, highly skilled and tries to, highlight how good they are at doing certain things. But obviously it does count. But the first thing you should always look for is character. And that's just my personal preference. Go with what your gut feels as well. So those are the three sites: Upwork, online jobs, best jobs. And once you've hired someone, it is time to start delegating your first task. How you want to communicate with them is up to you. I generally use Skype for just basically text messages, and also Voxer, so Voxer, to basically just send quick voice messages. If I'm on the road and I just want to click that record button, get whatever I need to get out from my head to audio, and then that sends it right to my VA so that he knows what to do. Let's say I need something urgent. It's like, can you prepare this document? I send that out, and then he gets it done. If I don't have the hands, or if I want hands-free, then yeah, I'll send a voice message that way. So that it's really up to you how you want to communicate. I know some other companies and businesses use Slack, which is also great because you can create different types of groups for different purposes, like your group for writers, your group for designers, your group for customer support, different departments. But once you've started, established some sort of communication tool, that's where you can go and start, setting the rules. This is how many hours you should work, what days, let them know what hours they should be on. And this should actually be in your job post, so then they know what to expect. Because if someone in the Philippines, let's say, starts at 9 a.m., that for me, that is 12 midday here in Australia. So there's a 3-hour difference. You got to take that into account. And so let them know what time you expect them to work, what days you expect them to work. Are you wanting them to work on weekends? Because your business might be the type that is in events or weddings or something where weekends are very busy. So let them know what days you expect them to work. Now, the next thing is to obviously hand off any tasks that you want them to get started on. So keep it simple, really. Just give that one SOP. So let's say you want them to write some descriptions for your product. So if you have an e-commerce store and you've got this one product or a few products that you need writing of description, putting it into your WordPress e-commerce site that may be powered by WooCommerce or an alternate, or if your cart's by Shopify, then yeah, let them know how to do that. So that could be the one task that you outsource. Another task could be just simple customer support. Now, customer support tickets range from people having technical issues to a billing where they want refunds. How you want to train them and start them off with is just one type of issue, and that could be refunds. So get them started with how to handle refunds. This is the process in how to handle a refund and how to respond to a customer. That could be the one thing. And just like that, you have already delegated one single task. And as they sort of gain more confidence and you gain more confidence in them, that's when you can then go and delegate the next tasks. Don't overwhelm them, because yeah, that's just going to lead to burnout and confusion and complications. So stick to that, keep it simple at the start. And that's really the process that I follow to hire freelancers, VAs, not just limited to VAs, but also designers, and writers. What do you look for in writers? What do you want them to write about? What's the voice and tone that you want the writer to instill into your content for your blog post, so then it sounds like you, it's your voice, your personality. These are the types of things that you want to be able to put into your operating procedures or checklists, whatever that may be. Hope this video has been insightful and practical. If you're not going to do anything today, then the one thing that you should at least get started on is by downloading the template for the task list profile, which I've provided just down below this video, and make a copy. And you can either, just get an A4 paper, put some lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, 5 lines, 4 lines actually, and then putting the, task listings, dependency rating, enjoyment rating, the who and the assigned yes or no. So if you find that writing is easier for you just to jot down, then yeah, do that. Find the method that works best for you. Otherwise, use a spreadsheet. And once you've done that, this will basically show you how, just how much you're actually doing in your business. You'll be surprised at just how much you're handling at the moment. And you wonder why you're stressed and overwhelmed and feel like you're going nowhere in your business. If you feel like you've gotten a lot of value from this, as usual, feel free to click the like button. It helps the video get on top a lot. And feel free to comment as well down below if you found this helpful. And as always, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Click the bell icon so then you'll get the notifications of any new videos that I release in the future. My name's Aurelius. Thanks for watching and looking forward to sharing the next video training with you.